Hello, y'all. How y'all doing? Me, I'm doing good. I want to talk about everything that's going on when it comes to people losing their jobs and the fact that they can't find another job. I will say this as a recovery coach. There is a such thing as financial healing and recovery. And I myself lost my regular job January 9th, 2026. No, yeah, January 9th, yeah. And I've been doing podcasting since about 2016. And I did not think that I was going to be able to pull it off when I first saw it. And I went after a sex code. And at that time, I had just gave somebody all the information I had on that person so they could give it to the police so he could finally get locked up. He's now locked up with life plus, 10 years. So when I was trying to move on from that, I was like, what am I going to do? Am I going to... I had no idea. To be honest, I was just like, I have no idea. Because during that time, the rug was pulled from up under me because I lost my job. 2017, I lost my job because they said I didn't socialize. When I found out the real reason I lost my job was because they were not basically doing claims as far as the AR, as far as denials for NDC codes, as far as for prescription drugs. Now, why is that important? Because a lot of times what happens when it comes to medical billing and coding is that you have a lot of claims that you only have 45 to 90 to 180 days to correct. And if you don't, it's adjusted off. Ain't nothing you can do. You cannot send it to the actual patient. You can't send it to them. They have to be adjusted off. And people have no idea how many claims that billers adjust off that are not paid. So, long story short, is I've been looking for jobs and I've just been told left and right that they want another candidate. Then I found out AI is the one that's going through all the resumes. And I'm just sitting here like, you can't be serious. So, actual person is not even looking at your resume or your application. AI is. So, people are not doing their job. So, let me give you an example. My mother had to go to get a gastro to get a colonoscopy done. They told her she had to basically bring the referral to the actual doctor's office for them to do it. They told her absolutely not. We're not accepting that. They need to send it. In the state of Florida, they're like that too. Even though they have people to do authorizations, they're telling you that you have to be the one to do it. When that's not even how that works. You're supposed to fax it over to the actual place that does the referrals, that takes their insurance. They contact them, they schedule an appointment. People now are becoming lazy. They're becoming lazy. You have doctors that misdiagnose people that don't even really take the time to figure out what's wrong with you. But then you'll go to Turkey and you'll go to another country and they'll give you a long list of stuff that's wrong with you. And then you end up going back and they're like, how did you find all this out? I went overseas. Just like when I went to Florida. They told me so many things were wrong with me. Everything from my throat. It wasn't my thyroid. I just found out recently when I went to one of the urgent cares when I was sick with the flu that my ear is infected because they can't even see through my ear. So something stuck in my ear. So I got to go to a, what's the name, doctor. What's even more bizarre and crazy is the fact of the matter that last year, the rug was pulled from up under me twice. In October August and then January. So the rug was pulled from under me twice. The first time it happened, I was working for a permanent company and they told us they were not going to fire us because they were getting rid of physicians billing and they were just going to be doing hospital billing. Next thing we know, 2 months later, we were told we were laid off. Some states they only pay $275 in unemployment. That's not enough to pay your bills. That's the crazy part about it. It don't make no sense, and it don't go up. Even if you work two jobs, it don't go up. So, you know, a lot of people have to end up moving back in with their parents, with their kids, unfortunately. So you're gonna see a lot of that. You're gonna see a lot of people moving back home with their parents, or they're gonna be moving out of the country. Some people have their retirement and they have to go into it. So by the time they retire, they can't retire because they went into their retirement and used it when they lost their job. Some people been out of work for about a year. Some people are living in their cars. Some people living in RVs, and they're living their best life. So I say that to say this: a job is not 100% security. What you might want to do is when you get your taxes back, instead of y'all going and buying all this stuff that's unnecessary, start a business. And don't just start one that's in the United States. Start one that's international. For example, if you're a restaurant, you want to be where a lot of tourists are. So for example, if you're in Florida, you might want to go to Miami. Might want to go downtown where a lot of the cruise ships are. So it's really about location. Yeah, a lot of people probably gonna be eating at home because a lot of food, as far as eating out, is unhealthy. I just spoke to a lady that couldn't walk and now took this plant and now she's walking and moving around. Natural products that don't have any chemicals, none of that. And the pharmaceutical companies are not happy about that. They are not happy that people are now basically looking at natural products and they're going out of the country to get treatment. There are people that have cancer that didn't go through any chemo, any surgery, did natural products that help with cancer, to calm it down, came back with no cancer. And it hasn't came back. Because they're taking medication that's keeping it contained, and it's natural products. So at the end of the day, like I said, is it really about permanent solutions, or is it just about a temporary thrill? I will say that. Losing weight. For those of y'all that think it's 90 days to lose weight, how you gonna maintain that? For those of y'all that are taking Ozempic, you not only are losing weight, you're losing muscle. And you don't get that muscle back. It's always these quick, rich schemes that I have an issue with. Healing and recovery don't work that way. Unfortunately, it really doesn't work that way. You really got to do the work. It's not just about taking Ozempic and thinking that's going to solve your problem. You have to maintain losing weight. There are people that lose weight and do a bit more exercise than the man in the room. That's because they do fasting. And they fast for 16 to 18 hours a day. Meaning they stop eating at 6 o'clock and they don't eat and drink anything else after that. And if they do, it's something small and something simple that's not going to really impact anything. Not only that, they may eat sweets for about maybe 2 weeks and won't eat no sweets for like 30 days. And the only time they drink sugar is in their coffee. Other than that, that's it. They're not really eating a lot of sweets. They're not really eating a lot of bread. They're doing fruits and vegetables, and that's just pretty much it. So a lot of people, when it comes to exercise, I don't recommend anybody thinking that you can do exercise the way everybody else does. Do what works for you. Listen to your heart rate, because your heart rate is not used to doing a lot of movement. I remember when I first started working back out, and I remember my chest was like, I almost had to call the hospital because I overdid it. So now when I exercise, it's slow and steady. I start off with stretching exercises. Then I do my stepper, my twist machine, my lymphatic machine, and then my treadmill. Start off slow. I start off walking slowly. And then I slowly, as time progresses, ease my way up to the point where I'm able to work out faster and it doesn't affect my heart rate. When your heart rate and your body is not used to movement, your heart rate gonna accelerate. But if you keep on doing it and keep pushing it, you're gonna have a heart attack. So it's even when people have sex and they end up having a heart attack and dying. That's why, because you're exerting yourself. Take your time. Don't rush the process. Stop thinking the healing recovery is fast. No, it's not. It's a slow process.